One brilliant, glowing treat we can all experience is going out at night and staring up at our moon. Whether it's a full moon or just a waxing crescent, it's still an absolute beauty, perfectly fitting for our night sky. I personally think it's definitely one of the most magnificent wonders of our whole solar system. To begin, you may think that the moon is close to us because of how large it looks in the sky, right? Well, you would be dramatically wrong if so. This is because the moon is at a distance of 384,400 kilometers. That means you could fit 30 Earths or almost every planet in our solar system in between them. Eventually, it will be able to fit more than the amount of the solar system's planets, because it's moving around 4 centimeters away from the Earth every year. That's about the size of an AirPod. So what is the reason the moon looks so big? The moon is actually quite large, sitting at the 5th largest moon in our solar system out of the 200. The moon, which has a diameter of 3,474 kilometers or 2,159 miles, is also 46% larger than Pluto, which has a diameter of 2,376 kilometers or 1,473 miles. The moon is actually the Earth's only natural satellite that orbits the Earth every 27 days. But when we see it, why do we only see one side? Well, this is due to the moon's synchronous rotation. This means it takes the same amount of time to orbit than it does to rotate itself, allowing us to see one of its amazing sides all the time. I'm pretty sure that we all know about the famous line, "One small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind," spoken by Neil Armstrong when he became the first person to ever step foot on the moon in 1969. However, Neil Armstrong was not alone in the landing, as Michael Collins and Buzz Aldrin were also in the Apollo 11 mission to the moon. It took about 4 days of travel to reach the moon to start, but since then, there has been 12 people to walk on the moon, and it has only taken around 3 days each time. There have been many Apollo missions like Apollo 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, and Apollo 17, which was the last time humans visited the moon. During these missions, they carried out all sorts of science experiments, but they also even had time for sport, like golf. On the moon, there is a 1/6 less gravity, meaning the golf ball would have gone around a mile rather than 285 yards. The moon also has a massive impact on the Earth, like the seas. The moon's gravitational pull is the primary force driving tides on Earth. It causes the ocean to bulge out on both the side nearest to the moon and the side farthest from it, creating high tides in those areas. The moon even helps some animals. When some animals, especially birds, migrate, they use the moon to navigate themselves to their destinations. The birds will migrate 10 days after a full moon to ensure they are on time. Additionally, birds can use moonlight to enhance visibility, especially for nocturnal species. When you look at the moon closely, using binoculars or a telescope, you can quite clearly see an uncountable amount of craters, which formed when massive asteroids and comets, some the size of cities, impacted the moon's surface and created these country-sized divots. So what different phases can the moon have? To start, there is a cycle with a new moon, waxing crescent, first quarter, waxing gibbous, full moon, waning gibbous, third quarter, and finally a waning crescent. The reason the moon has all these phases is because there is a changing amount of the moon's surface that we can see illuminated by the sun as it orbits the Earth. The moon also gains different hues and sizes at times. You may have heard of the phrase, "once in a blue moon." Well, this phrase originated from the 1883 eruption of the volcano Krakatoa, located in Indonesia, in which the eruption caused so much dust to be spewed into the atmosphere, it made the moon appear blue. You may have also heard of a solar eclipse. Well, this is when the moon passes directly between the sun and the Earth, casting a shadow on Earth and partially or fully blocking the sun's light. This is only possible because the moon and the sun look the same size due to the fact that the sun is 402 times larger than the moon, but also 400 times further away. The opposite of a solar eclipse is a lunar eclipse. This is when the sun, Earth, and the moon are all in alignment and the Earth's shadow covers the moon, giving it a red tint. A supermoon is when a full moon occurs at its closest point to Earth. This makes the moon appear up to 14% larger and 30% brighter, giving us some brilliant views. The majority of people understandably believe that the moon is spherical. However, the moon is actually more of an egg shape than a sphere. The moon is often described as egg-shaped due to its slightly flattened, oblate spheroid form. Have you ever seen the dark side of the moon? Well, this is what it actually looks like. The dark side of the moon even has water in the form of ice. This is because the moon's temperature can range from negative 173 degrees Celsius to 127 degrees Celsius, and there are some craters that are permanently shadowed, meaning no sunlight can reach it. This results in those areas always being around negative 173 degrees Celsius. The moon is about 4.5 billion years old, and its formation came from the giant collision between Earth and a Mars-sized body named Theia. The moon actually smells like burnt gunpowder aroma, and it has a very thin atmosphere known as an exosphere, made up of helium, argon, neon, ammonia, methane, and carbon dioxide. The material found all across the moon's surface is called regolith. Regolith is a mixture of dust, broken rocks, and other loose materials, formed through weathering, erosion, and impacts. Even though most people don't notice this, the moon is actually more similar to the Earth than most think. To start, both the moon and the Earth have inner layers. They have a crust, mantle, and core. They both also have natural disasters, like quakes. The moon also gets quakes very similar to Earth, but aptly named moonquakes. They are also made up of similar basalt-like rocks, suggesting a shared origin. However, they do have some massive differences. The moon is a quarter the size of Earth, meaning a flight around the moon would only take around 12.5 hours rather than 42 hours on Earth. The moon has a sixth of the Earth's gravity, resulting in someone that weighs 150 pounds on Earth, weighing approximately 25 pounds on the moon. The moon is quite clearly a fascinating, mysterious place we all know and love. So next time you're outside at night, look up at the moon and just think about all the wonders this majestic moon has to offer.